Put a finger down if you have a boyfriend for 5 years, but when you graduate high school, you decide to move to Houston to go to college. Your boyfriend decides to stay in your hometown, which is 3 hours away. For New Year's, you decide to come visit him, and so you guys get a hotel together. At 3 o'clock in the morning, you see that this girl has been DMing both of you guys on Instagram and then unsending her messages. When you wake up in the morning, you decide to text her to see what's going on. When you text her, she tells you to tell your boyfriend to come downstairs to the lobby. You're really confused because you don't know how this girl figured out what hotel you guys are staying at. And then you hear her banging at the door, and you're even more confused because how does she also know which hotel room you guys are staying in too? The girl's yelling things like, he's been sleeping with me in the same bed every night, and she's constantly asking if you guys are still together. At this point, you just tell your boyfriend to come clean. Your boyfriend tells you that 3 months prior he did cheat on you with this girl, but that's all, and that nothing else happened. He's begging you to stay with him, but you still decide to break up with him. When you get back home, the girl's friend decides to DM you on Instagram, and you guys hop on a video call together. During the video call, the girl's friend lets you know that while your boyfriend has been staying with his best friend at his best friend's mom's house in the same room, that the girl has also been staying with them in the same room. So that means that there was 2 guys and 1 girl staying in the same room all together. Your boyfriend has also been telling them that you're his baby mama and that the only reason you guys are always on FaceTime and falling asleep on the phone at night is because you're blackmailing him and withholding his baby if he doesn't FaceTime you every day. Your boyfriend also tells them that he brought you your Mercedes-Benz and that he brought you a 2-story house in Houston and that he also is paying for your college tuition. All on a Taco Bell salary.
I got a story about the time I met my biological father after 35 years, and then him and my mama got married. Like to hear it, here it go. Okay, so boom. April 2020. I've had too much wine. So I was on the phone with my stepdaddy, who I don't call stepdaddy because he's my daddy. He raised me, period. And he was like, do you ever think you'll find your biological father? And I was like, bro, at this point, I don't even care. Like, it don't even matter. And he was like, well, you should probably ask your mama. I bet she know. I mean, she got to know. And so I asked her, and I was like, Mommy, what's the name of my biological father? She was like, well, look up this person's name on Facebook. And I looked it up, and damn if it won't, right there. After all these years, me looking, it was just right there, plain as day. So anyway, I message him, and I say, hello. Were you stationed at Fort Gordon in 1983? And he was like, yes, I was. Who is this? And I was like, oh my God, this is the moment. This is the moment. So I'm like, my name is Tiana. I was born November 1984. My mom's name is Queen of the Universe. And I think you could be my biological father. I was like, I'm not expecting anything. I'm just trying to, put some pieces together. So let me know if this rings a bell to you, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what he said, y'all? He was like, I always knew you were a girl. Here's my phone number. Can you please call me? What? So I called this man on the phone, and I'm like, hello. And he's got a really deep voice. He's like, hello. And so he's telling me like, yeah, it's so nice to talk to you, blah, 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 blah. I live in Florida. I'm giving too much information. He don't live in Florida no more. But like, he was, telling me, he was like, I have kids. I have this, da, 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 da. And then he was like, yeah, so when the pandemic's over, I would really love to meet you. And I'm a little bit skeptical because he a little bit too joyful. I'm like, what is you? Relax, okay? We don't even know each other. And anyway, and I'm like, we need to take a DNA test. And he was like, well, I don't need a DNA test. I can see your picture. You are my child. And I was like, oops. And then I saw pictures of his other kids, and I didn't really see a resemblance in the oldest one and the middle one, but that youngest one, I was like, wait a minute now. We kind of look alike. So anyway, long story short, he was like, oh, I want to meet you after the pandemic's over, blah, 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 blah. Then, and that's April. In April. A couple days later, he calls me on the phone and was like, I just wanted to let you know. Oh, wait. Let me backtrack. So he told me that his parents live in North Carolina. The town that my parents live, that his parents were living in and lived there like forever, is around the corner from where my mama literally was living, which is with my sister. So then he calls me on the phone like a couple days later, and it's like, I just want to let you know that my mother passed away, so I will be in North Carolina pretty soon. So the day his mother passed away was the same day that we met. And once I finally met him, my auntie told me that she was talking to my grandmother, and she was like, I wonder what I could give him to show him that I love him. Come on! That same day, I talked to my sister. She like, hey, girl. So I love my sister so much. And my brother, he crazy. I just love everyone. Anyway, so I end up meeting my biological father because he comes for the funeral. And so I just go. And I told my mama, like, he's going to be here, whatever. She was like, that's between y'all. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So she don't join us. But then first thing he does is ask about my mother. He's like, blah, 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 looking for her. I've been trying to get in touch with her. She won't talk to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I ain't got to do with it. That's between y'all. Anyway, long story short, they end up meeting and rekindling that old flame. Now, mind you, they haven't seen each other since they were 21 and 19 years old because they met in basic training. And then my mom got pregnant with me and she dipped because she was like, I got to save myself. So literally, they hadn't seen each other in 35 years. But 2 months after that, they got married. And now they live together in a house with a garden in the backyard, and they just be being cute little old elderly newlyweds.
Yeah, lock your door, always lock your freaking door. That's something my dad has taught me and my sister since we've had cars, that as soon as we get in the car, you lock your door. And there's, I would say, like 5 to 10% of the time I don't, and when he catches me, he gets really mad. And if I didn't do it 10% of the time, I'm doing it 100% of the time now. I learned my freaking lesson. So I asked my husband to take care of the babies while I got my eyebrows done and got me some coffee, some me time. And as soon as I get in my car, I lock my doors. And I see this guy that's about to walk by my car. And since I don't always lock my doors, I just double check that I did lock them, which they were, and it's cool. He walks by. I was like, okay, whatever. But I keep looking through the side mirror, and this fool really turns and tries to grab the back seat door. As soon as I see his hand reach for the back seat, I just take off, and then I call my husband. And then on my way back, I'm back home, but on my way back, I was like, what if my doors weren't locked? And what if my kids were in the back seat? I don't even want to think about it. But Dad, I learned my lesson. Never gonna leave my doors unlocked because I'm still shaken up. So lock your doors.
Stuff on Amazon you might actually need. This is a chair that you can take anywhere, and it also has a built-in phone charger.